Hello and welcome back to Jazzy Braids. This is Miss Jazzy and finally doing some braids. This voiceover is definitely to show you guys that we work comfortably with every hair texture and also with men. I've worked with a client in the past that was very uncomfortable with doing extensions on a man, and I was not sure why. Now, I do respect that everybody has gone through different things, but this is like in the salon, and they just didn't speak to the client. I wasn't ready for that, but it definitely changed the client's experience. So I feel like working with styling men's hair is very different from styling a woman's hair. With men, you do want to usually accentuate certain features such as their jawline. And when you're adding extensions, it is very easy to make them look more feminine. With styling a man's hair, especially when you're doing braids and braids with extensions like I'm doing here, it is very necessary to game plan, which is what I'm doing right now with the pre-parting, and making sure that as I imagine the style and shape the look that they're going for, that it's also going to make them feel confident. Now, not every single man, but most men, if they're going for a more masculine appearance, they want to show their jawline just a bit more and draw more attention to their jawline, and less attention to the shape of their face. Such as women do. Women want to draw more attention usually to the center of their face or to certain parts of their body. So for women, I will make the braids frame their body and accentuate, how small their waist is and show off how tall they are, just in the thickness of the braid and the structure of the braid where the braid sits also. So for this young man, what I'm doing is I'm starting in the front. As you can tell, he already has braids in the front, and I want to make sure that they're going to fall in a certain way where when he stands up from tying his shoe is the scenario that I always imagine. So when he stands up from tying his shoe, where are the braids going to go is what I'm thinking of right now. So right now, I want the braids to frame his face, draw more attention to his jawline. So that top center braid, I'm going to make it stop just past the eye. And also the braids on the side, I have pulled back just a little bit instead of having them cover his eyebrows like I would with a woman. And I would draw more attention to how thin her face is. With a woman, I try to make the double chin disappear in where the braid stops, because the braid is going to carry your eye. Just like with interior decorating, you want to draw the eye up and show how tall the ceilings are when it comes to interior decorating. Well, with braids, what you want to do is show how attractive your client is. And so if your client is feeling insecure about how big their forehead is, or if they're feeling insecure about how much weight they've gained, that's my situation, how much weight they've gained in the past year, there are certain things you can do in order to make their face look thinner, or even make their forehead look smaller, depending on the placement of the braid. So if I had a client that was worried about their forehead looking big, I would place the braid, if I'm doing box braids like I'm doing with this gentleman, I would place the braid closer to the front of the parting. Instead of putting it, we're looking at a regular square. Instead of putting it towards the back of the square in order to make the hair fall out of their face, I'm going to put it towards the front of the square or closest to their face, so that when they go to tie their shoe and stand back up, because again, that's also the situation I'm always thinking of, when they go to stand back up after tying their shoe, the situation that they're going to have will be that their hair is going to frame their face and fall into an area showing less of their forehead. If I'm trying to get rid of my client's double chin, I'm probably going to give them kind of long layers. So let's say my client wants to put their hair into a ponytail, right? I'm going to make that first layer stop right above the shoulder, or right above the shoulder, right where that double chin is. And I'm going to gradually make that next layer longer and longer and longer progressively, so that it's going to draw more attention away from that double chin because you're looking at the hair. So with this gentleman, you can definitely draw the attention to the jawline. All the rest of the twist, in his case, are stopping about the jawline and then just a bit lower, in order to give him a more masculine look. I also made the twist a little thicker and substantial, root to tip. They don't do a bit of a taper like many women's braids and twists will do. And I did that on purpose. I wanted them to be thick so that it will show a more masculine jawline. And the little curly cues at the end, like I do with the ladies. Ladies, I do more curls in order to show a bit more femininity. And with men, I want the braids to just be straight, or in his case, twists, to just be straight and complementing his jawline as such. So this is a good example as to how to create braids and twists for your client, male or female. Have a good one.